Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Somebody had written in a question earlier today, I think it was. Hi, Shannon and Dr. Grand-Pichet. I'm a parent of an autistic 5-year-old boy. I have joined many Facebook groups for parents of autistic kids, mainly for support and just to know I'm not going through this alone. There is one topic that seems to come up from time to time on these groups, and that is the term Einstein Syndrome. Many parents seem to think that their kids fall into this category, possibly because the prognosis is more favorable than that of autism. I would like to find out if Einstein Syndrome is a recognized diagnosis, and more importantly, if Dr. Grand-Pichet believes it's a real condition.
So thank you for that question. It's a great question. It's not a real diagnosis. It doesn't exist in the DSM. I think it's referred to because there are a group of kids on the autism spectrum who are absolute geniuses in one way or another. And there's no question about that. I mean, I've met so many children who have, over the years, and like, you know, I've seen things from our kids that are, I could tell you story after story where we're all just sitting in a room going, oh my God. Well, you know, and it's, I tell you stories from literally 40 years ago and a month ago.
Things that they can do that are amazing.
Things that they can do, and they're very different.
Yeah.
You know, so one of the first experiences I had ever where I realized that this was the autistic savant. It used to be called that actually back in the 70s and 80s. And what it was these incredible skills. We had two brothers this was when I was at UCLA still. And they were both autistic, and they would say to each other numbers that one of our staff figured out they were playing this game where one child would say a number and the other one would say the logarithm. Then the other one would say the logarithm of that, and so on and so forth, and that was their game. And that was one. Then I remember another child from the very early days of CARD, who was one of those children who can do calendar things. Yeah. So he would memorize the calendars, and he would, we used to ask him, like, you know, what day does April 10th, 2027, and that was back in the 80s or so, you know, fall in on, and he would go Tuesday. And we literally had no, because this was before computers, you know, so it was no way we could check it, but like we literally, one of the guys had ordered this whole systematic calendar thing that we had to like calculate, and it was this big table. But it was unbelievable stuff like that, right? And all the way to, you know, we have many children who are, I've told you the story of my little guy in South Africa who he could count things in an instant. Right. So like
all the ceiling tiles in a minute.
For him it was that. I remember took a pile of marbles, put them on the table, and said how many, and then he said something like 12, and you know, or 20, and we counted, and there was only like 12 on the table, and then he explained that he was also counting the remainder that were in the bag, you know, and I was like, oh my God. Like, so, but he had this very incredible talent of counting all the way, you know, fast forward to a year ago, you know, there are children who actually are very nonverbal, and it's very hard for them to articulate anything. Yeah. And I have seen such a child actually with the, you know, where the letters, and you put your fingers into the letter, and she could say incredible statements. Oh, yeah. So there is a whole and then of course there are many children we know who are amazing at music. They just will play something straight out, and children who are unbelievable artists. Yeah. I mean, so all of that exists, and I think that's why it is referred to as Einstein Syndrome, because it's a selective area of incredible strength. Yeah. unusual strength, like
Yes.
beyond our capabilities.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it's an attractive thing. It's not, I can understand that as a parent, we'd want to say that's what my child has, and it's very possible. There are some children who really do have savant skills,
Yeah.
right? But nevertheless, I don't know that that's necessarily easier for them to
Yeah.
how they do in life, because it doesn't, like I said, there are children who are severely affected in other ways but have photographic memory.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have photographic memory allows them to be kind of treated a little bit like a celebrity in life, but at the same time, they still struggle because they have these other areas that they're not capable of handling in life.
Yeah.
So
it's hard. I think I can remember when the very day that Jem was being diagnosed, when the doctor said, her thing, she had no bedside manner and had a very German accent, and she said, "Yeah, autism," right? That was how she broke it to me. And thank you. And I at that point I didn't know that much, and I said, well, but where is it on that spectrum?
Right,
Like,
right.
are we at least Asperger's?
Right.
Because I thought, oh, well, then maybe he'll have some great ability to be a mathematician, was the thought process in my head, because I was looking for something to hold on to.
Of course, of course.
And she didn't have anything for me in her bag. She was like, I don't even know.
Yes.
I don't know if your child's going to talk again. I don't
Yes.
know, I don't know. But that was the thing. I was looking for something to hold on to that at least, and I do think I see in parents, when you find the thing that whether it's the thing that your kid is good at or the thing that your kid is drawn to, that's their niche, it's almost like it's a relief.
Of
That it's a
course.
puzzle that you have to solve. Until then, I'm thinking about a friend who, when she discovered that her daughter can sing opera,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, now we know what path we're on, we know the direction. So I do think there is some comfort for us in that. But the truth of the matter is, even if she had been able to say to me, well, your son has Asperger's, there's many people that I understand now that would have been that classification that would say to me, listen, I have the ability to do this, but nobody understands the level of anxiety that I have.
Yeah.
So we have to take it day by day. We have to, meet our children where they are. We have to play to their strengths and shore up their weaknesses like any other parent.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Shannon. I totally agree with you. I think the same level of pride is, you can apply that to just any parent,
Yes.
right? Like when our kids have some area that they're strong in, we're proud of them and we're grateful and we show off.
Yes.
And that's, I think, all parents do that, obviously, right? And this is part of that as well.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, like, I could say, my son, he's hilarious. He has one of the best sense of humors that I've ever seen. He could be a stand-up comic. He's so amazing, right? But the truth is, there are other areas where he could still benefit from instruction. And
Well,
so,
he's a person.
He's a person, and we're all like that.
Yeah.
And so, so it's important to not just hold on to the strengths, but at the same time, please do hold on to the point, because it's wonderful for our kids also to see that we're proud of them. But at the same time, you have to nurture all the areas that need help too.
We should make cups and hats and things that say, play to their strengths, shore up their weaknesses, to remind
Exactly.
us.
See, I love that.
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.
Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at at 10 a.m. Pacific time on autismnetwork.com. We hope to see you